Hello and welcome back. In this video, we're going to learn how to take a MySQL backup manually and how to manually upload that to S3 using the credentials that we created in the previous lesson. So this is going to be cool, right? Let's hit Docker PS to see our running containers, and remember that we're going to be running these tasks on the remote host container. So our goal is that the remote host container, it's going to connect to this DV container and it's going to extract the MySQL backup from here, but using this container. So pretty cool. Let's go ahead and log in our remote host container, hit enter, and now we're going to learn how to take this backup manually. So in order to take a MySQL backup, we need to type MySQL dump, then you say -u root, then you say -p. After you specify the name of the DB that you want to export. In this case, we want to take the test DB that we created, and then we're going to redirect this to /temp/ for example db.sql. So let's hit enter, and then you type the password 1234, and it gives you an error. Why? And it's because you need to specify the host, the target host, where the database is located. So let's add that host using the -h flag, and we're going to specify the DB host. Remember that this is the name that we specify in our Docker compose file. So let's keep it like this for now. Hit enter, 1 2 3 4, and then it doesn't complain. Pretty cool. So remember that we used this DB host because that's the name of our service. If you cut your Docker compose file, you are going to see that we defined this name in here. So let's go again into our container and let's look for cat /temp/db, and you are going to see your backup there, which is pretty cool. And here is the information that we actually inserted before, which means that our backup is actually correct. So this is nice. Now we need to upload this backup, which is living on a /temp/db. We need to do two things. The first one is that we need to get authenticated against AWS using the access key and the secret key that we created. And the second thing is that we need to upload this file to S3. So first things first, let's go to Google and let's look for AWS CLI configure. Now let's look for it, and AWS has a lot of ways to configure, but we want to use the environment variables way to keep it simple. So let's click on this, and you are going to see that if you specify an environment variable using this name and this name, you can pass the values respectively in order to get authenticated. So let's go ahead and copy this, and let's type export, then the name of the variable, and now we're going to paste here the value that we created. So let's copy this, paste it, and we're going to do exactly the same thing for the secret key. So let's copy this, let's paste this, equals, and we're going to give the value of this key. So copy this and paste this in here. Cool. Now we have two variables which define our something like our user and something like our password to get authenticated in AWS. So cool. This way Amazon already knows that any requests that we make, it's going to be using these credentials, this key, ID, and this secret key. So cool. Now we need to learn how to upload the file that we created to AWS S3. So let's go ahead and type AWS S3 CP CLI, and let's see what happens. Or maybe example in here. Cool. So let's look for the first one maybe. Let's look for a cool example in here. Great, this is what we want. So this is the most basic example. So let's copy this and let's paste this to our terminal. So, oops, looks like I didn't copy this. So let's copy and paste. Before doing this, I want to show you that if I go to my console and then I look for S3 and then I look for the bucket that we created, it should be empty because I haven't uploaded anything to this bucket. So if I refresh, you're going to see this is empty. Cool. So now we need to do here we need to replace the name of the file. Remember, this is the path for the file that we want to upload. Then we need to change the name of the bucket. So in this case, we choose this name. So let's copy and paste this name. And here, this is the final name. So let's keep it exactly the same like this. So we're telling, hey AWS, I want you to please copy this file, which is my local file, to your S3 bucket, which is called jenkins-mysql-backup, and then I want this file to be called like this. So cool, let's hit enter in here, and as you can see, it returns a message which tells you that the upload was correct. So now let's go ahead to our bucket and let's refresh this, and as you can see, you have your dump already uploaded from your terminal, which is pretty cool. So a quick recap, remember we configured this guy, which is the ID, the secret key as environment variables, and then we specified this command which instructs AWS which file we want to copy to which bucket and which credentials should be used to do it. So this is pretty cool. Our file is already uploaded to our bucket. This is it for this video. I'll see you in the next lesson.